position, you're going to punch. With your hand from here, you just go straight out. Imagine that you're going into the soft part of his face, his nose, his teeth, his throat, all for self-defense, going into the fleshy parts of his face or in through the throat for permanent self-defense, right? That part right here, that solar plexus, right into the stomach, a little bit lower, into that part of the body. These immediate, powerful strikes with a straight arm, turning your shoulders and hips, will stop his forward advance. This is going to be a very fast, quick solution. The next one will be pulling your elbow up, almost like you're doing an uppercut, taking this long part of the staff up between his legs, or maybe up into his chin. He's reaching for you, punching, grabbing, trying to hit you with a weapon, smashing that arm with his second powerful move. So when you need to defend yourself, these walking stick self-defense skills could save your life. He's coming in, maybe he's got a weapon, a knife, a skateboard, a baseball bat. You have reach advantage with your walking stick or your hiking pole. It's a lot longer. You can keep him back by doing this type of a strike right here. And it's as simple as lifting your elbow. The third thing I want you to see is that you can punch your hand, turn your thumb over, and bring the long side up across the side of the head for self-defense, or into the neck, maybe into the upper arm, into the ribs. You can bring it lower, into the legs, take a knee out for self-defense. It's very fast, very powerful, it's hard to see, and it's simple punch with a turn. Anytime you also take a small step with your front foot, you're gonna accelerate that strike, and you're gonna hit them a lot harder for self-defense. Hello, Andy, it's good to see you. So starting with the first one, I want you to practice, you're just punching with a straight arm. It's as simple as that. You're pointing your thumb at the threat. That's gonna stick it right into his nose, his teeth, his throat, his chest. The second thing I want you to do is pull up just like this, like you're doing an uppercut. Andy said he's glad to be here live. I'm glad you're here too. You're coming up here, striking this way. The third one is punching and turning your hand over. And the fourth one I want you to see is sliding your hand down a little bit more and pointing the thumb in the backhand. You're going to point the thumb at the threat, allowing you to thrust with the staff. You can bring your hand back here and push and create even more distance. From this position, you can pull it into your shoulder and strike in and across the body, striking the head for self-defense. It's very powerful, especially using something like this hickory self-defense walking stick. The first link below if you want to see what the dimensions are. Yeah, Hank said he broke his poplar stick. Poplar, I was just working on with a poplar stick earlier today, a short stick. They are really soft. But Wenxi Huang, welcome from UK. Yeah, too much leverage on the poplar stick. Hickory is hard to break. This hickory stick is very hard. So you're sliding your hand down here, pointing here. You can thrust here. This also allows you to strike behind you, and taking a step with his back foot, you can now strike into the lower part of his body, taking the knee out for self-defense. Coming back to the very beginning, punching here, you can also bend your elbow and pull it up to your ear, your hand, almost like you're answering your phone. Your other hand's gonna come on to the front part of your walking stick, where you can now thrust with two hands. You can thrust into the throat, the face, the nose, the eyes, all for self-defense, into the solar plexus, knocking his wind out, into that thin piece of muscle, that fascia between the belly button and the private parts that hold your guts in. You hit somebody like that, you're gonna put them on the ground immediately. Of course, you can go down into the privates, you can strike into the thigh, into the knees, striking the lower part. There might be a vicious dog charging you. This is one way that you can thrust and strike and create some distance between you and those teeth and those jaws. Just keeping them back with this position here, striking the head. So from here, this punching motion, pulling it up here, striking here. I want you to also slide your hand here and then come down over the top. You're gonna allow your hand to slide along the length of your walking stick. That's gonna accelerate and increase the power and the strength. Hi Mike, it's good to see you. The strength and the power of that strike as you come down with your hand here. And you can bring it straight down the middle, knock him out, turn off his operating system. You have to worry if he's got another weapon. If there are multiple attackers, he's a bigger opponent, take him out quickly for self-defense. Striking here, you can come at an angle to the side. You can bring it in lower parts of his body, coming again down to the knee, or maybe there's that vicious animal attack coming down and striking into the face there, or into the back of the hindquarters. Stop him really quickly. Yeah, you can really hit hard is what Hank's saying. Is there a way to spin the stick to make somebody completely committed to not thinking twice? So the question is staff spinning, right? So we do all kinds of staff spinning, usually with a little bit longer staff, but you can also spin. There are some unique ways to spin with the martial arts Joe staff, and the purpose of the spins are to develop proprioception, spatial awareness, timing and distance, to get a good handle on your staff so that when you use it and you can slide it through your hands, you become very comfortable. That's the purpose of the spinning. It's like cross-training a boxer skips rope. So spinning has a lot of value. The spin that works for self-defense using your walking stick for self-defense is this motion here. And that spin is practiced coming from one side of the body to the other side. You can also change hand position so that now you have it almost like a sword. You can strike this way with the long side coming out of your thumb, and then there's a little switch there in your hand. You can see that I drop it. My fingers are pointing up. Your palm is going to be pointing up. The back three fingers pop behind it. You allow it to go through. And then from here, you bring the first finger to the back, and then you're in this negative position where the long side is coming out of the pinky, and you're back to these types of strikes. So your question is a valid question. A lot of people assume sometimes, I've even seen people teach that, a good spin with your walking stick, or sometimes the walking cane, which is one of it's my actually number one for self-defense. This is my favorite self-defense tool for anybody because of the effectiveness. And at the same time, and there are different ways, there's another way to spin it. My answer is I would not want you to spin in a way to try to keep somebody back, like your Errol Flynn or Three Musketeers, trying to create, because it's too easy to time. It's too easy to time, it's too easy to stop somebody, it's too easy for you to get into a false sense of security that your spin is gonna stop somebody. Somebody's really committed to coming in and taking that from you. They're gonna take it if you're just spinning. However, if you're standing your ground and you're thrusting and you're striking and you're going for the knees, or you're using the hook to reach and snatch and grab and pull the eyeball out of his face for self-defense, or the teeth out of his mouth, or the flesh off of his skin, his body, you're committed to doing that, it's gonna be much harder. You're standing here and you strike, whether it's with your cane or your walking stick for self-defense. From here, I would much rather have you in this position and tell somebody, back up, I'll defend myself. And as they come in, you stick it right in and through the front of his face. You get into that position by standing behind it, point your thumb, and now it's coming into the back hand. Remember before I had you strike behind, you can also do that in this position. If somebody comes up behind you quickly, you can step to the side, pushing back. If something's coming up to the front, you can sweep this through, striking that vicious animal or taking out the knee of an attacker. So you can do that very quickly. You can also pull your hands down and almost like a pull cue. I know your hand would be here, but like a pull cue, thrusting, and you have the accuracy of the front hand directing where you're gonna strike, the back hand pushing through, and when you turn it up, snapping your palm facing the sky, you're gonna lock that. Your body's behind it, the entire weight of your body, however much you weigh, with the speed accelerated by your arm motion, and then by taking a step, you're gonna be able to drive that whole piece of hickory, 54 inches for this one. The links are below if you wanna see what the dimensions are, but you're gonna be able to drive that literally through his body. It's not gonna pierce him like a spear, but it's gonna hit with so much force, it's gonna compress his flesh, compress the skin. It will break bones. I had someone question the effectiveness of the self-defense canes. And I think the comment was if it were loaded with lead, and they're not loaded with lead. They're just made out of hickory and oak, and then they're well oiled. That's the key. when you well oil a stick, you get the life back into it, you get a lot of weight back into it, and you get a lot of strength back into it. They will compress the flesh and shatter the bone. If you can easily break bone. Hi, Julie, it's good to see you. I'm glad you're here. Julie said, glad to catch you live. But you can strike with this staff in a way that you will break some bones for self-defense. If you come up against an arm or a leg, joints always break easier than the bones. It doesn't have to be as heavy as a baseball bat. This, when they're made like this, when they're hickory, when they're oak, when they're made for self-defense, they do hit a lot harder. So from here, you're standing behind it, you point your thumb, you have this thrusting motion. I also like you to practice lifting the back hand up. Watch what your front hand is gonna do here. Your back hand just comes up almost like a chicken wing, right? I always think of this as it's not a traditional martial arts block, but it just comes up. From here, it comes up, and then watch what happens to your front hand. Your front hand simply acts, your wrist just turns. It's a pivot point from here to here. Now you have a blocking motion over your head. You can lift it at the same time as someone's pushing in. You can lift their arm, exposing their ribs, exposing the vital spots of their body. And then from here, you can bring it down into a strike. You can, from here, you can step to the side and do a strike. They're going that way, you're going on this way, you're out of the way. But I want you to practice that sometime from here, pushing and then lifting, pushing and lifting. You're just pushing and then lifting the back hand. Allow the front hand, the arm, you'll see your arm is not moving. All that's moving is your wrist is turning. You're just turning. You can see it's nice and sunny down here. I always forget, put my watch back on. From here to here, and then as you come from here, turn it back over, move away from that bag. The more you can bring this hand in behind your body, the more power, the bigger the motion. All of a sudden you're striking with more force. This will shatter, this will knock somebody out for self-defense. But then practice this, stepping off the angle so that you are over here, he's over here. So if this is the threat, I'm stepping over and now I'm striking, he's still going that way. He's only gonna see you out of one corner of one eye. You're gonna see him clearly with both eyes squared up as you take him out for self-defense. So from here, you're standing behind it, lift by simply pointing the thumb, and you just practice this over and over until, without even thinking about it, it's popping in your back hand. And then switch hands so that it's in the other hand. Practice popping it up. From here, thrust, lift, and strike. Striking down. My favorite way to use the staff from this position is simply to turn it in like this, like you're gonna do a push-up. So your palm is here. You can either come up, palm down, so you have a split grip, or come the other way. From here, stepping, now the entire weight of your body with this motion coming in with full force, speed, power, and this hard bar, this long bar, with all that leverage between your two hands and this pushing motion coming into his face. JKS50 says, yeah, old broom handle for now. That's how I started. Broom handles, rake handles, painter's poles, sanding poles. I grew up sanding. If anybody knows, commercial painting and then rolling with a big 18-inch roller cover. And then you unscrew your pole, you put it in the next tool, and then you're working with the next tool. And then while everybody else were eating lunch, I'm out there spinning, having some fun, learning how to use it for tricks and all kinds of things. And then one day, it occurred to me that I didn't know how to hit somebody with it. This is funny, not funny, because so many people that I talk to who love to use the staff as a self-defense tool or learn it as a martial arts weapon, they know all kinds of tricks and they can do all kinds of spinning motions, but they've never used it for self-defense. And so then I just got deep as I could in learning and then finding other people who wanted to fight with it and then learning how to fight with these like a combat style, but against the sword, against another staff, against other weapons, and to see if it really works. And in my opinion, In my experience, this is one of the most effective self-defense tools you can use because you can take it anywhere and everywhere you go, just about. More importantly, you're gonna take the skills of self-defense using your walking stick with you. You might not have your walking stick, you left it at home, you're on a trip, but you have an umbrella. You have a long, traditional umbrella, or like if you get a golfer's umbrella, those things are nearly indestructible. They're made to withstand wind and rain. They're made to last. You pay a little bit more for them, and they're maybe not this long, but they work really well for self-defense. It's a very effective tool for self-defense. And there's sticks just about everywhere. I was helping set up for an event this weekend, and all around were all these tools, long-handled rakes, long-handled hose, to hoe the ground, pitchforks. I'm just salivating, thinking about all these different self-defense tools that were just there. You go into stores in your neighborhood, in your community, there are tools everywhere for self-defense. There was that movie with Eddie Murphy, Coming to America, and he stands up and he unscrews, and it's about this long, he unscrews the mop handle, and the bad guy's got the shotgun, and he's screaming and yelling, boom, blowing things, and Eddie Murphy's just standing there. He tells him, you gotta, and he's calm. And that's the key. You'll not always be calm, but you wanna be, Coming to America, you wanna be, you wanna breathe. Breathing will help calm your mind. Just take a deep breath, make a decision. What are you gonna remove or destroy on that bad guy who's trying to hurt you? And he smashes just this basic, simple motion. And I know it's a movie, and it's, you don't wanna go shotgun against the stick. You probably already have a big hole in you. But if you had no other choice, right? And it works, but maybe it's a shotgun against, or a stick against somebody with a knife, or a bigger opponent, or multiple attackers, and you do have this ability to snatch it up. I think he brought it up here, and then he brought it down around and knocked his feet right out from under him. And that's a real move. That's something you can practice. You stand behind it, snatch it up, and then from here, sweep, right? And then if you really want a lot of power, turn your body as you sweep. Turn your body as you sweep. And anytime you're turning your body, rotation through the shoulders and hips creates power. Extension through your weapon, extension through the hand holding the weapon, extending creates power. Turning shoulders and hips creates power. And then the acceleration of that strike comes when you move those feet. You've got to take a step in for the strike. You can step forward, you can step back. There are a lot of ways that you use it for self-defense. So, standing with the stick and behind the stick, this is one of my favorite ways to think about it. Get the stick between you and the thread, point the thumb, practice the thrust. I showed you the block and then the strike, stepping off the angle. If it's in the backhand, answer your phone, or punch first, then answer your phone. Thrust, answer your phone. Two hand, thrust through the middle, slide. You just loosen your grip on your front hand, slide it back. This becomes a pivot point, your front hand. You're gonna push the backhand forward, and then always finish with some distance between your hands. That allows you to stop the forward momentum of your walking stick for self-defense. If you bring it down here and it stops on his head, lights out, fight's not over till you win for self-defense, but that's good. But if you were to miss, you would want it to be able to stop between you and the threat. You keep that stick between them. If you bring your hands together, you create so much momentum, almost like a baseball bat, or if you're golfing, a golf club. Your hands come together, you're gonna over-rotate when your hands come together. So don't let your hands come together, bring it here, stopping so it's here. So from this position, in your backhand, now he's here, you can bring this up between his legs, you can punch that right into his face, or you can answer your phone, thrust, strike, and then chop, change hands. And this is a great drill that you can practice. You want to get really good at this kind of stuff. I'm just watching the door, making sure. I have a class starting in a few minutes, making sure we're open to let the guys come in for the training. Oh, by the way, I'm doing a lot of these videos on Rumble, so if you're on Rumble, please go over and find me on Rumble and check me out. I want to have another alternative that doesn't censor. Rumble is one of those places that doesn't censor videos. Number two, I'm going to be doing live classes. I have this rig set up, which is basically a TV and a camera, for Zoom classes. We're going to do Zoom and Facebook, if you're on Facebook or Zoom. And then we're going to do a live short classes, 30-minute classes. They're going to be kind of fun, but they're going to meet you at your level. I'll be able to see you. You'll be able to see me. I can give some feedback. If you want other people to see you, you'll see each other if you want to. Create a sense of community. But if you want to do that, send me an email at pasquinelli@hotmail.com. Pasquinelli@hotmail, HOTMAIL.com. It's one of the old ones, right? I've been on the internet. I used to have an AOL account. But send me an email over there if you want to do that. We're going to do 30-minute. I'm going to have 5 or 6 different topics. We're going to do all the weapons. We're going to do unarmed, hand-to-hand combat, self-defense, and like just general fitness. Thanks, Andy. I'd love to do a class with you too. So send me an email over there. It's going to be a small fee. It's going to allow me to keep the lights on, literally, as we go into this winter with unknown situations happening around the world, circumstances. You know, people are a little nervous locally, so I see a little dip in my my in-person traffic. Actually, it's increasing a little bit, but it's kind of inconsistent. But I want to have an opportunity to work with you one-on-one and then grow together. So I'd love to help you. I'd love to have you help me, which I really appreciate. And if you haven't subscribed and give me the thumbs up, please do so, because that really helps me keep these going. And you'll see when I do these, they'll pop into your feed. All right, so from here, punching, answering the phone, thrust. From here, here. Remember, you can always go for the knees. From this position, you can also block. So from here, we did this kind of a block. The second basic blocking motion you would do with your walking stick for self-defense is lifting from here, just coming straight up. And you're able to come up kind of off that line. Notice that I'm going back into the side. When you take that angular step, so it's 2 directions, back into the side, you create distance, but this hand lifting will intercept anything coming straight or coming from the side or coming from the top, and you block here, and you can immediately block and then push, just like this. And this hand directs where the end of that stick's going to go. So from here, you lift and thrust. From after that thrust, you can bring it back over the top and do all the other ones. But I wanted you to see you can answer your phone, and you can hit them on the way up, right? Maybe right between the legs. You hit them on the way up, blocking, thrusting. You can take that step off to the side so that you can thrust, but you have an option, the ability to stop them blocking. When your hand is here, turning it here, you can push up, you can push down, you can push over to one side, you can push back the other way. When you do these side blocks, the only thing to remember is your knuckles will push in the direction of the block. So just aim the knuckles where you want the block to go, turn your knuckles, and that'll give you a stronger block. From this position, you have this punching forward. I showed you before. You can go anywhere into the body, and that hard piece of hickory is going to destroy whatever it comes into contact with for self-defense. At least it's going to move them back, and then punch just like you're boxing, right? Just throwing jab, cross, just punching 1, 2, 1, 2, going down to the body. You can pull in and thrust from either side, in and thrust. It's very effective. You can even do that over the top strike. Even though your hands are in this push-up position, you can still come down over the top. Just think of like paddling your kayak, right? One hand after the next. This is also a great way to get your heart rate up and lean your body up, get stronger for self-defense. So that's a lot of ways you can use this self-defense stick. And these self-defense walking stick skills can save your life. I really believe firmly that when it comes to having something or nothing, if you have skills of self-defense using sticks, you know how to fight with sticks, you have a great advantage, because sticks are always going to give you, I always have my the trainers here. Oh, I'm also working on a bunch of these trainers I'm having made for those of you who want to learn. As soon as I have them made, I'm going to show you how you can fight with a bladed weapon, how to do some self-defense techniques using a knife. But if they have a knife and you have a stick, look at that advantage that you have, right? You have reach advantage. Let's say it's in his hand. There's his hand. So you can see it. There's my stick. I can be way back here and he can't reach me. I can reach him. I can stick that in his face and it might not do the damage that this does, but it doesn't matter. You might be able to, from here, go through his nose, push him back enough, striking on the top of the head, lights out. You don't have to worry about it anymore. You don't have to worry about whether he's gonna stick that in you or slice you with it. As we look around the world today, we see a lot more situations where people are being attacked by just criminals, thugs, mentally unstable, people who are addicted. All these big homeless encampments everywhere are full of, and homeless is kind of a misnomer. It's really, some of them are, some of them, there's a lot of mental illness, but there's a lot of desperate addicts. And desperate addicts, some of them will hurt you and they'll come after you. And you should have the right to defend yourself. And that's why I advocate this. And some people say, well, just get one of these. Not everybody can carry one of these. In most places around the world, you can't. We only have the Second Amendment in the United States. Uh-oh, I'm gonna get flagged. You better find me on Rumble. Anyway, but you can carry one of these and you can carry a walking cane. But you guys have been awesome. Thank you so much. Please share, like, subscribe. If you have an idea of how you would use, what kind of stick you would use for self-defense, please put it in the comment section below. Julie says, so glad I found the video. She's 52, need to get strong. Yes, Julie, you will definitely get strong. Even just doing a little bit a day, and take your time. People underestimate what they can do in a week and overestimate what they can do in a week, and they underestimate what they can do in a year. So if you do a little bit, 5 minutes a day, every single day, it doesn't just accumulate, it compounds. Because who you are next week, after 5 minutes a day of this week, you'll have more capacity, more strength, more speed, more flexibility, more endurance. And then next week, you work out a little bit harder. That same 5 minutes, you're getting more done. And the week after that, you get more done. And then you say, I can go to 10 minutes. And then all of a sudden, you're doing 10 minutes at a higher rate. So just allow yourself, get your ego out of the way, allow yourself to grow. Don't ever criticize yourself. Everybody else likes to criticize us anyway, right? So make sure you're your biggest supporter. Tell yourself every day, keep going, keep going. You can't lose if you don't quit. Just write that down, get that tattoo. You can't lose if you don't quit. And just one step after the next. You guys have been awesome. I will see you in a little bit. Thank you.